calling all my summer and September birthdays. Today's show is all about celebrating you and these stunning stones that honor your birth month, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Luxe Jewelry Edit. I'm Elizabeth Minieri and I could not be more excited about today's show. I too am a summer birthday. Ruby is my birthstone, and I am so excited to show you some beautiful pieces that feature rubies and peridot and sapphires and even a surprise alternate stone that I don't think a lot of people know about. So let's get started. I've got some great deals. I'm going to talk about those a little bit later in the show. Let's jump right in with the first piece because it is one of, in my opinion, the most underrated, underappreciated stones. Peridot. Starting today's show with a pendant. A pendant to me is one of the most essential pieces in a woman's jewelry wardrobe because it can dress up anything. A necklace like this you could easily wear with athleisure, running around going to the grocery store. You could wear it with a dress on Sunday to church. You could wear it out for date night. It is such a versatile way to just elevate the elegance of any outfit you're wearing. And this particular necklace, such a great combination of it has elements of being a statement necklace, but also the delicate way that it sits on the chain and the size of the chain also makes it a perfect piece for every day. We have 2.5 carats of this green peridot in the center, and it is emerald cut. So the faceting here is going to really showcase the lime side of the spectrum when it comes to peridot. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the fact that peridot really does run a range from that really vibrant kind of electric lime green all the way up to a deep olive. And this is a really beautiful hue on the lighter end. We then have accents going around in a halo of diamonds. We also have yellow sapphires. We've got them here on the corners, and we also have them where the pendant hangs on the chain. Also notice such a beautiful, well thought out and intentional detail, the antique finish. The antique finish is what you see often, I think it's most common on a class ring, but it's that little bit of black detailing that they put over the gold so it really brings the stone's depth to the surface. So we've got the antique detailing here on the stone set in the corner, as well as here. So we've got it everywhere. We have the yellow stone sitting on yellow gold. So again, it allows that yellow stone to pop. And I also want to show the side because just some really beautiful metal work on the side and the back as well. Now this ring, the length of the chain is 18 inches. And again, it is 2.5 carats of the green peridot. And we have about a 1/4 carat of sapphire, just shy of a 1/4 carat in diamond. This necklace is available on Gems for $17.20. Now, if you have been watching me for any length of time, you know I often talk about Gems pricing is a fraction, 40, 50, 60% less than what you would ever pay at a retailer. And I'll talk a little bit more about how we're able to do that later in today's show. But so that price is already reflecting a 40, 50, 60% discount, but they are kind enough to allow me just a little bit more of a discount exclusively for the viewers of my show. So this necklace is available today only. Scan, click, call if you are watching me on my show for $1,375. $1,375 for over 2.5 carats of green peridot. So I just shared that little insider secret that I do offer you a slightly better deal even than Gems is normally offering. I'm so grateful that they allow me the opportunity to do that and just pass an extra special deal on to the viewers of my show. Again, I'm going to talk a little bit more about just how special Gems pricing is later in the show, but our next piece, I love it so much. I've been wearing it. I don't know if you've noticed that. So I've got to take it off my finger so that I can tell you a little bit more about it, but it is a stunning oval ruby. It's over 1.5 carats of ruby. And one thing that ruby is known for, other than, of course, obviously being the birthstone for July, is the depth of color that you see, especially depending upon the cut and depending upon the faceting. This stone has incredible faceting, an incredible cut. But do you see how deep and dark it gets when you look inside a ruby? that is one of the things that it's most known for. Some stones, when they're faceted and cut, you look deeper into them and you'll see more of a brilliance. You'll see sort of a sparkle and a luminescence, if you will, that's coming from the center. Ruby, sapphire, some of your other stones, you look into them and it gets deeper, it gets darker. There's something so romantic, so beautiful, and so deep about that. That's one of the things ruby is most known for. Now in this ring, we also have over 3/4 carat weight of diamond, and you'll see those set in a 3-stone, kind of creating a triangle look on the side. Again, because of the way they've used the prongs, it gives the illusion of it being either a trillion or perhaps a pear shape, but they are actually round stones. They've just done some beautiful detail work in the prong setting. And those are on each side, and it is all set in 18 karat white gold. Also want to make sure and note this is a ring size 7. Now, we know that on my show and on gems in general, one-of-a-kind pieces at one-of-a-kind pricing. One-of-a-kind takes a whole other level of intensity when we start talking about sizes, because we literally have just this one ring and just this one size. So if you are a ring size 7, you're in luck, but I would go ahead and get ready to call, click, scan, whatever the interface is that you are watching on, familiarize yourself with how to shop, because this beautiful ring, if you are a size 7, is going to go quickly, especially when I share the price. So again, we have over 1.5 carats of an oval cut ruby. We have over 3/4 carat of these beautiful round diamonds on each side, all set in 18 karat white gold. This is a size 7 ring. So if you are a size 7, you're gonna wanna move. The gems price on this ring is $6,150, so $6,150. Already a tremendous deal when you think about what this ring would retail for in a more traditional jeweler, but I think it's because it was my birthstone. I don't know. Maybe just because we are so grateful to be able to have you tuning into my show, and I want to make sure you come back next time. I am able to offer you an even better deal than that. The Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing is $4,925. $4,925. You want to run to order this ring. Staying with rubies, but a beautiful example of how two stones can really have such a difference or a variance in color. That is among my favorite things about gemstones. There really are no two that are exactly the same when you take into account the color, the cut, the faceting, the way each stone just sort of shows in its best light, and our talented jewelers showcase that in the way they cut and set them. This next ruby actually has a deeper, almost darker, if you will, hue. When I first looked at it, I thought perhaps that it even was a garnet. It could really be in the light garnet family, but it is not. It is a beautiful, almost 2.5 carats of ruby. And just take a moment and take in this detail. The way it almost looks like they've set the center stone on top of another ruby. They haven't. They've actually got baguette cuts going around the outside, and then we've got this big beautiful emerald cut here in the center. Now, accenting each of the corners, beautiful detail, adding that white sparkle. You would think it's a diamond, but it is actually just stunning 1/4 carat weight of white sapphire. Now, one thing I love about white sapphire, it is such an incredible way to get all of the sparkle, arguably more sparkle, sometimes even more perfect than a diamond, for a fraction of the cost. So when we see using accents like these as a white sapphire, you are getting all the brilliance, all the beauty, all the exquisite elevation that we would get by adding a diamond, but it's going to allow us to keep the price point a little bit lower. So again, thoughtful and intentional in terms of the design, but also thoughtful and intentional in terms of the price point, which sometimes that really does drive our decisions. Right around 2.5 carats of ruby, 1/4 carat of white sapphire. It is all set in 14 karat yellow gold, and this is a ring size 6. So if you are a ring size 6, you are in luck, and you are going to want to move, because the pricing on this ring is incredible. Between using white sapphires in lieu of diamonds, that's helping us to create a slightly lower price point. Because of Gems relationships with our vendors and our jewelers, we are going to be able to give it to you at 40, 50, 60% off of what it would normally be. And then I've also got a little bit of a Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing. The Gems price on this piece would be $1,380. $1,380, but today I can get you this ring for $920. $920, under $1,000 for this beautiful ring. And And that brings us to, drumroll please, the Abigail pick of the day. If you have been following me here for any length of time, you know that I have a very discerning 7-year-old daughter, and her favorite thing to do is to pick a piece from each day's collection, and we call that the Abigail pick of the day. She also likes to share why she loves that piece, and I'm often just blown away, and I know y'all love hearing what her thoughts were. But so this next piece is actually the Abigail pick of the day, and as soon as I saw my collection for today's show, I kind of knew she was going to pick this one, and I had a feeling I would know her reason, but out of the mouths of babes, she said, because Jesus loves me, and that would remind me of it. So, sweetest way I could ever describe what wearing a cross around your neck symbolizes, but dead on. And also, I love wearing a cross, and for me, I know if that is a value that's important to you, it can be really nice to just have that reminder, whether it be for the outside world to see or for you to kind of keep as a reminder around your neck. That is a very precious tradition within the Christian communities. But for me, I will say, maybe I'm just shallow enough, if you will, I like it to have a little bling. I really do. When I wear one around my neck, I always like it to have a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of bling, and this necklace is perfect. This necklace, we have over 2.5 carats, really almost 2 3/4 carats of oval sapphires. And they are, when you think about the color spectrum of sapphires, just that beautiful royal blue. So not quite as dark as the navy that you'll see, certainly not that London or sky blue that we're familiar with, just a beautiful, perfect, decadent royal blue. We have a 1/4 carat weight of diamond, and you'll see the way they've placed these. I love the way they've put them 3 together. So they're smaller stones, but they come and make a very big presence the way they've set them. Also, by putting them in that trillion shape, really accentuates the lines of the cross. And then a beautiful accent diamond right here in the center. It is all set in 14 karat white gold. The length on the chain of this necklace is 18 inches. So 14 karat white gold setting and chain. The length of the chain is 18 inches. And this piece retails on gems for $1,220. So it retails on gems at $1,220. But our Abigail pick of the day, Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing is $1,000 even, $1,000, and you can have almost 2 3/4 carat of sapphire in the most blingy, beautiful, sparkly cross around your neck that you could ever want. So I promised y'all a surprise alternate stone, and it is actually for August. So the traditional August birthstone is a peridot, but did you know that pink spinel is also an accepted alternate stone? Truth be told, I didn't. This is my first time learning, and I think it's so cool. So if you are an August baby, if you are mom of an August baby, if you got married in August, this necklace might be just what you need in your jewelry collection. Over 1.5 carats of pink spinel in a pear shape right in the center. Then they've just done some really beautiful detail work that I absolutely love on this necklace. We've done a double halo, as you can see, and they have put one of my favorite details where they put 2 different colors of gold. So we have the two-tone, we have rose and white gold. The innermost halo is the rose gold. I love this choice because rose gold up against any pink stone, pink spinel, tourmaline, kunzite, morganite, any of those pink stones is always going to bring out the softness and the warmth of the pink stone better than any other metal color, at least in my opinion. I love the way it does that. So by putting the inner halo as a rose gold, that is such a beautiful detail. Also, I love the way diamonds really pop in rose gold. White gold and diamonds gives the illusion of larger diamonds. So that of course is a major plus, but sometimes I love setting it in a yellow or a rose gold because the diamond color really pops. You really see the clean lines of where each stone starts and ends. So really you get the best of both worlds in this necklace. We have the innermost halo being a rose gold. We have the outermost halo being a white gold. Also want to point out really great design detail, not only from an aesthetics perspective, but a functionality perspective. Nothing better than when we can mix function and high fashion, but you have these little diamonds right here. And what that's going to do, one, it's just going to sit beautifully on your collarbone, but also it is going to help control how much movement you get on the pendant. So it's only going to move within the space of these 2 stones. Thoughtful and intentional detail when it comes to jewelry is, I mean, outside of price, probably the thing that I think sets gems apart the most from any other jeweler, any other retailer, any other place that you could shop jewelry, are pricing, but the quality and the attention to detail that we offer with our craftsmen and manufacturers is second to none. Once again, we have over 1.5 carats of a pear-shaped pink spinel, just shy of a half carat weight of diamond. It is all set in 18 karat two-tone gold. So 18 karat rose and 18 karat white gold. The length on this chain is 18 inches. The gem's price on this necklace is $35.45. Already a great deal, 40, 50, 60% off what you would pay depending upon the retailer. But your Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing is $28.50, $2,850 for over 1.5 carat pink spinel. So before I show you the next piece, I am very curious, did you know that pink spinel was an alternate for August? And also, do you ever wear birthstones for something other than your birth month? So I know for me, I wear citrine luxe. It's my daughter's birthstone. And I also love sapphire because it's the month we got married in. So do you do that? Do you wear birthstones of other important months just in your family history or in your life? Comment below, especially if you're on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have your notifications turned on so you never miss an episode, but comment below and let me know. I'm very curious if I'm the only one that does that or if other people are doing it as well. Let's move into this next piece. It is a ruby. So once again, a July birthstone or July wedding or July child being born. This is the stone that is going to celebrate all of those occasions. We have over 1.5 carats of pear-shaped ruby and half carat of baguette and round diamonds. It is all set in 18 karat white gold. And I do want to take a moment to just really appreciate, I know I've talked a bunch about ruby in this show because we've had some really beautiful examples of it, but again, the color, just the variances in color that you've seen from one piece to another in this show. If you were not in love with ruby when you started, you surely should be now. This ring is a ring size 7. So if you are a size 7 ring, the whole idea of one-of-a-kind pieces at one-of-a-kind pricing, it takes on a whole new meaning. You are going to want to call, click, or scan very quickly when you hear the price on this. Again, if you are a size 7, this is the ring for you. 1.5 carats of a pear-shaped ruby, half carat weight of baguette and round diamonds, set in 18 karat white gold. The gem's price on this piece is $2,985. So this would retail on gems for $2,985. That is already a fraction, more than 50% off what you would pay in any retailer for this quality and design of ring. But I am able to give you an extra special Luxe Jewelry Edit pricing. You have to be tuned in to take advantage of this. $2,380. Before I jump into our next piece, I do want to take a moment and share, because I get asked a lot, how is gems pricing so low? And then really, what is Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing? So the reason Gems is able to offer such high quality pieces, one-of-a-kind pieces truly, both in design, but also in the caliber and quality of craftsmanship, is because we establish relationships directly with jewelry designers, manufacturers, sources of gemstone all over the world. So when you go to a traditional retailer, there are so many middlemen that are in the process that goes from a piece of jewelry ending up in the display case in front of you or wherever you are shopping. Gems, we cut all of that out. We work directly with the designers and the manufacturers, and all of that savings we are able to pass on to you. Now, the Luxe Jewelry Edit pricing is a little bit different, a little bit special. Truth be told, it is a way to say thank you. It is a way to incentivize you to tune into this show every week. I have the best time. I love my job more than I could ever express, and y'all are what let me keep doing it. So it is just our way of saying thank you, our way of saying make sure you don't miss it. And that is the slight difference you'll see in the Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing off of what is already a tremendous deal with our regular gems pricing. So moving into an emerald cut peridot, and then two stones that you may or may not be familiar with, but it is green and white savorite. Now, I am the first to admit, before I began my journey as an on-air host with jewelry a few years ago, that is not a stone I was familiar with. It is a fraction of the cost. So it allows us to create pieces similar to earlier in the show when we had a white sapphire. It allows us to create pieces that have that same decadence in terms of their appearance, but at a lower price point. Also, in this case, the color of green, I just don't know that you would get in any other stone. It is such a specific, such a beautiful shade of green. And then of course, those stones bringing our eye right up to this beautiful 2.5 carat emerald cut peridot in the center. I love the way they have elevated this center stone. So we have the 3 rows of stone on either side, bringing your eye up to the center. The mix of a deeper green with the white beautifully enhances this shade of peridot. This shade of peridot is right in the middle. It's a very rare shade. It's not the electric lime. It's not the real deep mossy or olive green. It is right in the center. You do not see this shade often. It is absolutely beautiful. Also, I think contributing to the color that we're seeing is an emerald cut in the step cut faceting as opposed to a more traditional faceting, is also allowing the real depth and the deep shade of green to come through. This ring retails on gems for $1,230. $1,230 is our gems price, but our Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive price, you have to be tuned in to get it, and you want to call, click, scan, whatever is your preferred method of shopping, is $1,000. $1,000 for 2.5 carats of an emerald cut peridot and a 1/2 carat of green and white savorite. So I know I've talked about the Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing, so I do want to remind you, we air live every Thursday at 3 o'clock, every Sunday at 2, live on Gems Plus, but also if you want to catch free broadcasts, you can also find us on YouTube. You want to make sure that you have both subscribed to the channel and that you have your notifications turned on, because one-of-a-kind pieces at one-of-a-kind prices, they do not last. So you want to make sure you're notified as soon as the show goes live on YouTube. Up next, I have a beautiful 1.25 carat oval ruby pendant. And we have about a 1/4 carat weight of diamond in the halo. And when you think about carat weight in a halo, having a 1/4 carat, that is a substantial amount of diamond. Absolutely beautiful. I love that they've used the slightly larger diamonds here in this setting because it's just going to really bring about a more powerful sparkle. Talking again just about the color and the shade and the depth of ruby, this one, when you look at it, the oval cut and the faceting that brings about, it really is giving a very solid, bright red look. And I love thinking about that in contrast and comparison to the other stones that we've had in this show. No one is more beautiful or better than the other, but so unique, all one-of-a-kind beautiful. So again, we talk about one-of-a-kind pieces and one-of-a-kind pricing in terms of gems and design, but the stones themselves really hold true to that. And I say it all the time, it is one of my favorite things about gemstones. I also want to point out in this necklace, we have going up the side, one of those details that would be so easy to overlook, not necessary. I mean, if we worked with a lower caliber of artisans or designers or manufacturers, wouldn't even bother with this detail, but we do have bevel set diamonds going right down the side of the necklace. So what that is doing, it is adding a little bit of sparkle, adding a little bit of bling to a piece that is already exquisite. It is also sort of giving our eye a line to follow, really leading into and presenting the beautiful showcase center stone. 1.25 carats of an oval ruby and another 1/4 carat weight of diamond. It is all set in 14 karat yellow gold. The length on this necklace is 18 inches. Gems retails this necklace at $2,420. Your Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing, $1,950. $1,950, under $2,000. Call, click, scan. Do not miss out on this deal. If you are just tuning in, welcome. Make sure you go back and catch the rest of this broadcast on YouTube. We have had some incredible pieces, even more incredible deals. This next ring is no exception. This ring caught my eye because of its throwback sort of Art Deco vibe. I think anytime we use a baguette cut diamond as an accent stone, it automatically gives a certain look. It sort of changes the tone of any other setting, but particularly the way they've used it in this swirl design and the fact that we have used the sapphire set like this. So we've got it, it's a marquise stone, but the way that we've turned it top to bottom, and then put the accents kind of swirling around on each side. Such a unique, such a throwback look. I love the way we have over a 1/4 carat weight of diamond in this ring total. And so we also have some large stones here coming up. We have 3 rows on each side. Look at how large those diamonds are. I mean, that is an eye catcher. Those are borderline centerpiece stones right into the baguette. And then this marquise cut sapphire. It is a full carat of sapphire. And I do want to point out that beautiful deep color. We've sort of stepped a little bit past the royal blue. We are tiptoeing into that gorgeous navy midnight blue in this sapphire, and I think it is so beautiful. I also think that particular hue is a perfect pairing with a slightly more Art Deco vibe in terms of the setting. This is what I call almost a statement band. Yes, of course, we have this beautiful, the showcase stone, if you will, or the centerpiece stone, but truly the entire band is a statement in and of itself. You could easily argue that the setting and the band is every bit as beautiful as the center stone. This center stone is a full carat weight of sapphire, and we have over a carat of diamonds. It is all set in an 18 karat yellow gold. This is a size 5 3/4, ring size 5 3/4. Now this is not a common size. So if this is your ring size, you are really gonna wanna jump on this particular offer. It is not only a great deal, but that is a hard ring size to find. So 1 carat sapphire, over a carat of diamond, ring size 5 3/4, retails on gems for $3,705. Your Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing is $3,000. Somehow, this brings us to our final piece of today's show, which also happens to be our showstopper. Now you may be familiar, but our showstopper is just a piece I pick from each show that I think, well, sort of steals the show. And it is a piece that if you were to wear out in your everyday life, you would be getting stopped left and right, compliments, comments, wanting to know where you got a piece. Also, it's usually a piece that I think the price compared to how show-stopping the piece is does not match. So it is an even better deal for the visual of the piece than you would expect. So that is what I have for you to close out today's show, is our showstopper. It is almost 2.5 carats of arguably the most exquisite shade of green peridot I have ever seen. Now, I am one of those people in the camp of, I don't always love peridot, right? I think it has some gorgeous hues. I have seen it and fallen in love with it. I have absolutely seen pieces that I think, oh, not so sure. I can see maybe why people don't like it. This would be my absolute favorite. I would have this on my finger in an absolute heartbeat, and I truly believe it is the size, it is the oval cut. Oval cut is spectacular on peridot, and the faceting. You are seeing everything in this stone, from the lightest of electric lime all the way to a deep mossy olive green if you look down into the center. It is absolutely stunning. We also have a full carat of diamonds. Now, I looked at this ring and my first thought was, holy diamonds. I mean, yes, the peridot steals the show with its size and color, but just take that in for a second. I mean, that is beautiful. I have had rings when I was younger that the center diamond was not as big as these accent diamonds are. It is so beautiful. It just takes your breath away. I don't even know that being on a stand does it justice. Let me put it on for you. It is all set in 14 karat yellow gold. This is a ring size 7, but I do want to remind you that our jewelers can often size 1 to even 2 sizes. So if you want to call and see if that's something that they can do with this ring, absolutely encourage you to do that. If you are a size 7, just go ahead and click or scan to take advantage of the incredible deal. We have over 2 carats of green peridot, a full carat of diamonds, all set in 14 karat yellow gold on this size 7 ring. It would normally retail at gems for $22.10. Today, the Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing is $17.75, under $2,000 for today's showstopper. I cannot believe it, but that brings us to the end of our show today. I hope you had as much fun as I had showing these pieces to you. I hope you learned something. I hope you found the perfect piece of jewelry and you were able to get it for the Luxe Jewelry Edit exclusive pricing that no doubt blew your mind the way it blew mine. Make sure that if you are watching on YouTube, you have subscribed and you have your notifications turned on. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at elizabeth.minieri and tag me with the pieces you shop from my show. Most importantly, make sure you never miss an episode. Thursdays at 3 o'clock, Sundays at 2. I will see you soon.